about to cough and he said I'm live. Let me have a drink of tea. Thanks, darling. Good old peppermint tea, can't beat it. Have you got your tea? You got it ready? Or coffee and biscuit? It's that time of day, you see, you need a slice of cake, don't you? I haven't got a slice of cake today, but a lovely cup of tea. So we've got people from all over the world today. Did you say Helsinki?
Copenhagen.
Oh, beg your pardon. Copenhagen. I visited Copenhagen. Stunning.
That's Himmel from Copenhagen.
Stunning city, and that's Himmel. Hello, darling. And we've got Sharon from Texas. Hello, sweetheart. We love Texas. And who else have we got? Iris. Lovely to see you here, Iris. Sending you loads and loads of hugs and kisses. Okay, keep strong, keep fighting, get better soon. We just want to give you a big hug. So we've got our Jill Humphrey, hello darling, Margaret Green, and Riley Davis, hi sweetheart, Louise, we've got Margaret Green, Karen Rowe, hello everybody. Let me just go back. Adele Lee Collins, hello sweetheart, Sarah Walker, Melissa, Wendy Wallace, Kathy Astley, hi Kathy.
Karen from Monterey, California.
Karen from Monterey, California. Hello. I hope it's sunny there because it's freezing
stormy.
here. Is it stormy? Yeah. Oh, I feel for you. But yeah, love California. We missed going there for the trade shows actually, and they moved, didn't they, to Arizona? Because we have friends in California. We always used to catch up with them when we were there. So hello from not so sunny California. And then we've got Sue, Linda Adams, Lynn Maguire. Wow, it's lovely to see you all today.
Lorna says, why is mine not posting in her own name? But it is posting in her own name.
Lorna says, why is it not posting in her own name? But it is. It's there, Lorna. Let me just have a look here.
Rachel from Worksop.
Rachel from Worksop, hello. Is this the Rachel from Worksop we sorted out her stamp last week? Is that the same Rachel? And Morrow. So okay, that's 5 minutes of talking. He says, get on with it. Okay, enough tea. Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining us. So we've got another Facebook Live today, and yeah, we're going to take our minds off what's going outside in the outside world. We're going to take our minds off that, and we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to have a look at what's going to go on the Chanda shows this week. I say shows, yes, more than one, and also our new releases. So I gave you a sneaky peek last week. So these are our new releases. So no, we're okay for the minute. Okay, so we've got 4 new stamp plates by our lovely Janine Gerard Shaw. Hi Janine. And she's done some beautiful drawings for us. And we have the Colour Me Aster. We also have the Colour Me Conehead Daisy. And then we have the Colour Me Dandelion. And we also have the Colour Me Camellia. Now, if you look on the back, we have them in red rubber, and we make them here in Retford by hand. And they also have, someone's knocking at the door. It's Duke the dog, the retriever. He's a black coat retriever, and he's very needy, and he likes cuddles. So he can't bear to be out the studio on his own. Hello there. So these are on red rubber. These are made from red rubber, and they have got a cling mount on the back. So you just need to put them onto an acrylic block and they'll cling to it. And then keep the packaging because that acts as storage for you. And we also have some words on here as well. So I've managed to squeeze some lovely words on. And they're all in the same font. So they all actually match. So you can actually put different words together. Okay, and just this one, I've snuck in a bit of a thank you there. So thanks, an expression of appreciation or gratitude, acknowledgement of favours given, thank you. So I've had to do a lot of thank yous during lockdown because people have been so kind and so nice. So these are the 4 new stamps. Okay, and then as I showed you last week, I finished the other embroidery. So I've stamped these onto fabric and I've done some embroidery on them. So just stamp them on with our paints, or you can use an ink pad because I'm not going to wash these. And then I've just gone over the lines with embroidery thread. Super easy. So that was the dandelion, the aster, the conehead daisy, and I've just finished last night the camellia there. So I think they look really pretty. Also, I've been busy colouring in as well. So these are with Luscious colours, and I'll show you the new colours in a minute. So we have some really nice new colours here today. And I've just used some embossing powder and then coloured them in with the Luscious powder, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Also on the show on Wednesday on Hachanda. Hi Cheryl, loving the new stamps, thank you very much. Julie, that's my new thing to learn, stamping and then embossing. So you will, oh, and embroidery, yes, you will just love these. So these are my colour stamps, Colour Me stamps that I had out originally. So these are not new today, but they're probably new to you because lots of people haven't seen these. So they're out of the same range, slightly different style, but again that lovely square shape. So I believe that's the lily. Yes, it is. So got the lily there. Then we have the daisy. Then we have the dahlia. And then we have the anemone. Okay, so those are the 4 other ones, which are gorgeous. Okay, I love those. So we are going to be messing about with some sorry, I've got ink all over my fingers now. We are going to be messing about with some embossing powders. So I've got here our embossing powders. So these come in a nice pot of 20 ml. But there's a lot in here, an awful lot, because it's ultra fine, because you want it to pick up all of these ultra fine lines that are on these stamps. So it's really important that we use an ultra fine embossing powder. So even a small pot, you get loads of it because of course it's ground exceptionally fine. And you can see here on these, this stamp is called the Mandala Sunflower. And this is also drawn by Janine as well. So we've got here White Cliffs of Dover, Copper Load of this, Hi Ho Silver, and Glamrock Gold on here. So we're going to be using these today. Okay, so so that's some of the new stuff. Also, we have our brand new gorgeous Luscious. Okay, so I showed you these last week. So this is what they look like when they're painted out, added with water and painted out. So obviously these are powders, so we can do loads with these. But if you add them to water and make a paint, a watercolour paint, this is what they look like. So this is on black card, so you can see that the coverage is excellent. Okay, so we have green apple, we have watermelon, we have rosy glow, we have bottle sunshine, and we have sparkling waterfall. Now these you can buy all in a kit or a set all together, and I think Alfie's done a special deal on that for you. So you can buy them individually or you can buy them as a set. Okay, and these will be featured on Hachanda on Wednesday. So I'm on, it's a live show at 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. Okay, yeah, early start for me. 4 a.m. Can't be doing with getting up at 4 a.m. But it will be good. So I will be wide awake when it comes to 7 a.m. So 7 a.m, 10 a.m. British time on Wednesday. Okay, so that's those. So what are we giving away? So if you just want to comment and share down at the bottom, that would be brilliant, and then we put you into the draw to win a full set of these. So we're giving away a full set of all Janine stamps, okay, so all 4 stamps, but also you're getting all these set of Luscious as well, so the whole set of 5. That's right, isn't it, Alfie? So we're giving away the set of 5, and we're also giving away the whole set of these to one person. Will get a nice big stash, okay? So all you have to do is just comment and share, and that would be lovely. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, and like. Yes, you need to like, don't you? Okay, so
we just had a few questions.
Okay, a few questions here.
Karen's just asked how you use the Luscious. Obviously, you're going to show that in a minute.
Karen said what? How easy is the Luscious?
How do you use them?
Oh, how do you use the Luscious? Right, Karen, don't worry about that. I'm going to demonstrate those just in a couple of minutes. But also there's a Facebook Live. If you look on Indigo Blue's page, I actually did 4 sessions of Facebook Live entitled Indigo Blue Luscious Techniques. So there's actually 4 hours worth of techniques if you actually look back on the Facebook page. And they are called Luscious Techniques. Yeah, so there's Luscious 1, 2, 3 and 4.
And then there's Adele's asked, can you add them to resin?
And Adele's asked, can you add them to resin? Absolutely, they look fantastic added to resin. And again, if you look at our Facebook page, I think that is Luscious Techniques number 4 is I've dedicated to adding it to Luscious in different techniques. Sorry, added it to resin. I've used our Indigo Blue brand diamond resin, but you can use it with any resin because it's really, really pigmented and it's really great with colour, and of course it's a dry powder and it looks superb. So without further ado, let's get you to come head down, and I will Alfie's trying to get Duke to lie down and settle down. There he goes. Okie doke. Last slurp of tea before it goes cold. So these are the lovely new colours of Luscious. Now, normally you buy a pigment or a mica powder in about a 5ml pot, which is the size of our lid here. But we actually give you a huge pot of 25ml, and that is chock-a-block full of pigment. So the difference between our pigments and other people's is that it's not just mica powder we put in here. We actually put in a pigment, then we add a mica, which gives it that lovely shimmer and shine, and we also put a binder in. So when you add it to something that's wet, you can, let me just confirm all of these people, there we go. When you add it to anything wet like resin or water, that activates the binder and then it sticks to the surface. So it's already got a binder in it, it's got mica in it, and it's got pigment. So, and there's loads of it. So you can use it in tons of different ways. Just as I said earlier, go and look at our Facebook page and you will find 4 hours worth of techniques on how to use Luscious. So let me just show you quickly how I've actually used them on these sorts of techniques, just painting with them. Okay, so what I do is either can use one of our paint mats, or you can get yourself, we sell these are Tim Holtz palettes, and you can use these as well. So I'm just going to add water to them. So I get a wet brush. Let's open up our pigments and then just put the wet brush into the pigment powder and then into the palette and just mix it up. I prefer warm water because that makes it mix so much quicker and easier. If you use cold water, it just takes a while to mix in. It's just like adding flour and water. You know, it looks a little bit grainy before it gets smooth. Okay, what are you laughing at? Oh, right, so Alfie's just stood up to let Daisy, our other dog, in, and before he's even sat down, she's nicked his seat and she sat there like like a queen bee going, yeah, and. So Alfie's just lost his seat, bless him. Can you turn my phone back on for me, please? I wish you could see this. He's now manhandling the dog, carrying her. Oh dear, they are characters. Okay, so that's Daisy and Duke. Right, so I'm just adding water to this. Now, the beauty of adding water to these pigment powders is that when they dry out, you can actually keep them in a pellet or on an old plate or a piece of parchment paper, whatever it is you want to keep them on. But then when you come to use them again, all you need to do is just regenerate them by just adding a little bit of water. I just tend to spray mine.
Anne's just asked if the pallets are in stock. I believe they are.
And Anne's just asked if the pallets are in stock, and I believe they are. We usually have a good stock of them. But I think they're probably going down quite quickly at the moment. Anyway, so I believe they are in stock. So that's how I use these just to paint with, okay? And that's how I've done it with these. But how do I manage to get those lovely black lines there? It's I'll show you that now. Okay, so let me just put those to one side. Give myself a little bit of room. Thank you very much, Alfie. Move my embroidery. And I'm going to use a stamping plate. If you're just starting out with stamping, these are brilliant to use because it just takes all the stress out of stamping, especially with big stamps like this. So I've got some smooth watercolour card on here. So you want, because this is a big stamp, sorry, let me just bring that over so you can see it. There we go. Sorry about that, I do apologise. So with this being quite a big stamp, to take the stress out of thinking, oh, am I going to get it all right? Just get yourself a stamping platform. If you, any type will do, and then you can just restamp numerous times if it's not quite right. Yeah, I know, Lisa, I can't see what you're doing. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so can you see in the middle there, I've missed a little bit out. I'm using a Versamark here, but you can use a slow drying ink pad as well. And I like the fact that my stamps are a little bit dirty, because then I can actually see whether I've managed to capture all of that. So I'm just going to use the flat of my hand. And then we're getting a bit more detail in there. I think maybe it's because I haven't got any ink on there. I think it has actually taken quite nicely. There we go. Now I'm going to show you a technique that I've only just learnt off our Carolyn Lakin. Fantastic technique she's actually shown me. She did this beautiful card, and I just love the technique, and I rung her about 15 minutes ago and I said, please can I show that technique, it's superb. So I'm going to show you that one, and with that you need a couple of colours of the embossing powder. So you need the White Cliffs of Dover, and then you need another colour. So either the Copper Load of this, or Hi Ho Silver, or the gold. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with the White Cliffs of Dover and the Hi Ho Silver. Right, so this one is actually done on black card, as you can see, just with a clear embossing powder, which we have our super fine embossing glaze in a massive bottle. So it's very rare that people run out of that, and that way you get this lovely glossy edge to it. And what happens when you paint this is that the embossing acts as a resist, so when you do paint it, it pulls away from that, but you'll see that in a minute. But this is all one colour, this is all the gold, okay, and this is clear on black. But what I'm going to show you is this lovely technique that our Carolyn Lakin has just taught me. So you get a bit of the white, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a highlight down the center of the petal here. So I'm just using a bit of metal spoon here, and I'm just going to put some white down the center of that leaf, or petal I should say. I think I'm going to go a bit wider than that, and I'm only doing one petal at a time. You'll see why, because you want it to fall off in that direction. You don't want it to spread out. So I'm going to tip it up in that direction, which is where the powder is. Okay, and just give it a tap on the back. Okay, and now I'm going to do this petal here. So again, just in the middle. There we go. And tap off in that direction again so it doesn't spread. Now for a really beautiful sample of seeing the original that Carolyn did, you can have a look on Facebook on my page, Kay Halliwell Sutton, because I've shared it on my page, and you'll see her original, which is stunning. And I thought it was just really good photography, but she's just made it look as if it's shining beautifully. Okay, so I've just gone down the center of there. Now I appreciate that you won't be able to see that on camera. Let me just put this white away, but you will be able to see it when you're doing it at home. Okay, and then I'm going to cover the rest of it in silver. So just literally chuck it all on, and then give that. Alfie, could you put all that back in the tub for... Oh no, you can't because he's got the dog on his lap. Well, love it. I wish you could see that. We ought to get the other camera pointing. In fact, I'm gonna just turn the camera around. Go to the top camera, Alfie. There he is. And she's yawning, she's bored. So that's our Daisy. She does always look sad like that, don't worry, she's not mistreated, she just looks sad all of the time. She's a little rescue. And she's gorgeous. Okay, so sorry about this, but I can't actually reach my desk with this one, so if you just stay on me for a bit, or just look at Daisy.
Right.
So all I'm doing...
They can see you.
They can see me. Okay, so all I'm doing is just heating one area of the embossing powder, and then as soon as that starts to change colour, it'll go glossy. I'm then going to chase it around. Make sure you don't burn your fingers. You can always hold it with a pair of tweezers. There we go.
Lisa just asked how much the pallets are. They're £8.25.
Right, Alfie says the pallets are £8.25 on the website. Okay, so...
Sandra said, do you clean your stamps every time?
Do I clean my stamps? No. No, do I? I do tend to give them a wipe sometimes with a rag. But generally I'm very naughty and I don't. If it's like a black or something, yes, I do tend to do that. So here we go with these. So I've already used that colour, so shall we do, let's do some blue with this. Okay, let me just check you can see this. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, so we've mixed our Luscious with some water, and as Jill Humphrey was saying a minute ago, that lots of people have got things like twinkling H2Os, they've got mica powders, they've got maybe old palettes that they've bought like this. And the difference between our indigo blue ones and other makes is that we've put a lot more pigment in into our Luscious. So you're not just getting mica powders, you are getting the pigment as well. And then of course you've got the binder. And we use a really expensive high grade pigment as well, so that you're getting a really beautiful, luscious, and that's where the name comes from, colour from it as well. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just brushing this on, and the embossing powder is creating a resist, i.e. the water will not stick to it, it gets pulled away from it, and you get this really beautiful, lovely effect from it. And because Carolyn has done the white down the centre, you get this really beautiful highlight. So you get that lovely silver around the edges, and you get that white down the middle. And hopefully you can actually see that. It's really, really stunning. It looks so much better in real life, I tell you. And then,
so Jeanette says, so it doesn't need a gum arabic or something?
No, it doesn't need gum arabic or anything, because gum arabic is, as you quite rightly say, is a binder, which makes it stick to a surface. So this has already got a binder in it, so you don't have to do that. And as I say, the quality of the pigment you use is a lot higher grade. It's a lot more expensive, but it's worth it. As a company, we always start off with, rather than saying let's have a product and this is the price it's got to be, we always start off with, I want it this quality, I want it to do A, B, C and D, and I want to be able to use it for lots of different things. And the reason why we can do it at such a ridiculously low price is that we are a small company and we're a family firm, and we obviously don't have the profits that large companies have. So yes, we will never be rich, but at least we'll be happy creating beautiful things for you to use. So again, this is the sparkling waterfall. I know it's not completely got the name on there, and I'm just enjoying going over this. So just I'm going a little bit too fast, but you know, you can just sit and colour to your heart's content, and it's so satisfying. And also the other thing about our Luscious is that a lot of the time I will do duotones, so I won't only mix like some blues together, I might put some gold in there or some silver, and I'll do lots of other colours, so as the light hits it, it will change colour as well. So you'll probably see with this, as it's moving around, you will see different blues and you'll see different colours and also different metallics, because this is, all of these new ones are all duotones. So I'm not going right to the edge, not yet anyway. I might do, just depends how I feel. And then if you wanted to, you can actually go darker in the middle there. So I could actually add a little bit of blue to this. So again, this is just literally called blue, this colour of Luscious. And what I've done is I've put them into sets for you, so that if you wanted to buy a few as a treat, I think they're in sets of 5, aren't they, Alfie? Alfie's done you some money off. And then I think I'll just put a little bit of a darker blue in the centre there, just to give it a bit more depth of field there. And you can use any brush, just one of your favourite brushes is fine. And I just think this is such a lovely technique, using the double colours of embossing powder, and I think Carolyn, very clever. She always comes up with lovely stuff like that. But yeah, check out her Facebook page, Carolyn Lakin. She's on our design team, so lots of her work is on our Indigo Blue Facebook page, or I'll share it on my page as well. And then I'm going to come in and do the stamens. So I think the stamens need to be sort of that lovely buttercup colour. So I'm going to use Bottled Sunshine, which is one of the new colours again.
Josie said, can I ask if it's worth waiting for the Hochanda shows or just buy now from Indigo Blue?
Josie said, I don't know whether you can hear Alfie, is it worth waiting for the Hochanda shows or should I just buy now? Basically, you can do whatever you desire. I would say buy now, and then you've got them before we go on air, and you've got them to play with. So they'll probably be sent out tomorrow if you order today. Well, they will be sent out tomorrow, definitely.
I think it's free shipping over £25.
Yeah, and we do free shipping over £25, whereas Hochanda, you need to be in the Freedom Club to get free shipping. So it's up to you. There we go. So I've done the stamens as well. That's lovely, isn't it? Isn't that really, really gorgeous? I hope you can actually see that stripe of white down the middle there. But those are beautiful. So, and this is the difference between doing something. Oh yes, there we go. This is one I did earlier. So this has got, the colours I used here were Rosy Glow, which is the new colour, and Watermelon. So it's this one and also this one here. But those are beautiful colours. So what I used here was the Glamrock Gold, which was this one, the embossing powder, and of course I use the White Cliffs of Dover for down the centre here as well. And then of course, you know, we'll have to have a go with it on black card as well, because that would look really, really lovely, I think. But this is just clear onto black card. Shall I just quickly do one of those for you?
Just got a question from Jeanette, probably asking about shipping to Europe as well, or just UK. Shipping to Europe is £5 under £50 order.
You just come closer and then they can hear you.
So just replying to Jeanette, shipping to Europe is £5 up to your order worth £50, and then it's free. So it's just slightly more, but it's still pretty reasonable, £5, and then free if you spend over £50.
There you go. Right, so this is, just move that out of the way. This is one of the new ones. So this is the Camellia, and then I'm going to again just use the Versamark on here. So make sure you just tap with your ink pad. So as I said, you could use Versamark, or you can use a nice juicy ink pad that you've got that doesn't dry too quickly. And then again, just give that a good press. There we go. That's moved it slightly. A little bit annoyed about that.
Let's do it again.
I think we've just missed a tiny bit off that bit there. I'll just see whether I can actually get it. If not, if it's double stamped, then I'll have to just do it again. Darn it, it has double stamped. Okay, that's what a stamping platform's for. See, no one's perfect. I might be the one behind the telly, but I'm not perfect, as you can see. So again with my Versamark. Let me move that.
person says, I love that your paint mat is advertising itself.
Yeah. Yeah, the paint mat is advertising itself. It's because people keep asking me what this is, you see. And it's just one of our paint mats, that's all. Yay, that's worked out beautifully.
You just need to explain your magnets in the tape as well.
Oh right, so what are these? These are my magnets, and I've put a little bit of tape around them so that I can easily pick them off, because I haven't got a great pincer movement on my fingers, so it just makes it really easy to pick up my magnets, you see. So I just wrap them around and leave a bit of a tab on them, and that way I can quite easily pick them off, rather than trying to scrape them off with my nails. So just makes it easier to pick up, that's all. Okay, so if you want to just do clear with this is a favourite technique. I always tend to do a lot of clear embossing, purely because it makes it so much easier to colour in, basically. There we go, that goes back in there. And this is again ultra fine embossing glaze, so it's a nice bright gloss, but it's super fine. So he's got the biscuits out for the doggies now. Right, sorry, excuse me while I just heat this one up.
Just move the
Okay, so I don't know whether you can see this from here, but I just keep it on one area until it warms up, and then I just move it across slowly, chasing where the embossing powder is, and you'll easily see the change in colour. You just don't want to overheat it, because embossing powder tends to flatten if you overheat it, so literally just get to the glossy point. There we go. So with this one, what I've tended to do, I'll do the same colours as I did on my sample here. So I've actually come in with the Rosy Glow. So add some water to this. Now the consistency I use is sort of like single cream, maybe thick milk, you know, really nice creamy milk.
Jeanette's asked, can you use the pigments to dye paper as well?
Yes, you can use the pigments to dye paper. I tend to brush it on though, and then spritz it with lots of water, and that's the best way to get the effect, rather than it's not like the pigments themselves are not an acid dye, so they're not actually used for putting into a vat of water and then adding paper or fabric, so they're not an acid dye. The best way is to actually cover the paper and then spritz it with water, or spritz with water, add the Luscious and spritz it with water again, so you're actually colouring the paper rather than dyeing it, because as I say, it's not an acid dye like you would get for fabric. But you can actually use this on fabric, especially if you mix it with our Slap-It-On fabric. Slap-It-On, here we go, let me just grab one for you. That's gloss matte fabric. So this one is a medium that will go onto fabric. So if you mix this with your Luscious powders, you can actually paint onto fabric, and then just heat from the back, and you can wash it at 30 degrees. Also, it works incredibly well with the Slap-It-On super thick as well. But again, if you go to the Facebook page of Indigo Blue, all those lessons are on there. We've got 4 hours worth of different techniques with the Luscious. Okay, so I'm going over the whole thing with this one colour, but then what I've done is when it's dried, I've actually gone back with excuse me, Magic Sparkle. So Magic Sparkle or Porcelain White, I like the Magic Sparkle because it's very, very, very sparkly. And I know that my paintbrush is still a little bit on the pink side, but that's okay. And then what I've done is I've just picked out where the highlight would be. Okay. And then just down with it there. And because you can reconstitute all of your Luscious, it actually blends really well. So as I'm going over it, it's actually moving the Luscious from underneath as well. And that's the beauty of it.
Lynn said, "Who knew that watching paint dry could be so exciting?"
Alfie's just said what Lynn said. Who knew that watching paint dry could be so interesting?
Exciting.
Exciting. Thank you, sweetheart. It is really good fun.
Has just asked about the colour labels on the website. They're not there yet, but they are going to be in the next week or so.
Okay, so Jay Shree's just asked about the colour labels. Which colour labels are those?
Presumably for Luscious.
Oh, right, you mean
the swatches.
The swatches. Oh, the swatches. Yes, so they will be in the next week or so, Jay Shree. I'm just still colouring them in, darling, so it just takes an age to do them, and it's obviously been a bit busy, so I will get them done, I promise, and we'll get them on the website.
Linda Adams has asked, what ink pad would you use to stamp on fabric?
What ink pad would I use to stamp on fabric? Right, well, if you're not going to wash it, I would say the VersaFine, whatever colour that you've got. So because you're stitching over it, you're not going to see it. I used also the VersaFine Claire because they come in different colours, and I do happen to have them. So if you're not going to stamp on them, that's great. You're not going to wash them, that's great. If you are going to wash them, how much time I've got? Yeah, I've got time. Let me just show you very quickly how you can stamp onto fabric using our paints. Okay, so let me just quickly get rid of that. Let me get some paint out. There we go, that's Luscious. So, okay, so this is Stroke of Midnight. So you need something that's quite a darkish colour that's going to show up on fabric. Have I got a scrap of fabric anywhere? Just bear with while I run to the other side. Just talk to them, Alfie.
That was good.
That was quick. That was quick. Alfie says, what do I say? What do I say? Okay, so piece of fabric. Our paints will actually go onto natural and man-made fibres. Okay, so that's the beauty of our paints. Okay, normally I would tape this down onto a piece of cardboard, then it doesn't move. All right, then I need a stamp. So what should I use? Let's go with, I haven't used this one yet. So this is the Dandelion. Okay, and then what you do is on your mat, you need to use this neat, so don't add water to this paint, okay?
If you're doing this.
Don't add water to the paint if you're stamping with it onto fabric. That's why I've made it nice and thick. Okay, obviously if you're painting with it, then that's a different story. And this is what's great about the paint mat, because it doesn't pool, the paint doesn't pool. Okay, so you've made a nice thin layer on your paint mat. And then I'm going to stand up for this.
Monique says hi.
Hi, Monique. And then make sure you just I don't want you to rock the stamp, just press it so it picks up all the ink, all of the paint. Okay, and you can see there that it's picked it up beautifully. And then you just need to stamp onto the fabric. I did notice there was a crease across there, but hopefully it will be okay. So you need to hold this on here for just a couple of seconds, just so that the paint transfers onto the material. And obviously, the smoother the material, the cleaner the actual stamp will be. There we go. That's lovely, isn't it? You can see all the detail here.
Really see that.
Oh, can't you see it?
Because of the light. Yeah.
Oh, because of the light. Oh, I see. Okay.
If I've moved it onto the face on, then you can.
Alfie's going to move on to the face on one. And then
You can hold
hopefully
it
you'll be able
gently.
to see it because it's just got.
Go on, you can. It'll focus on that.
Oh, that's weird how you can't see that.
No, I can't really make it out.
Let me just show you again. Let me just show you again, and hopefully, see, it's white on white. That's the difficulty. We've got white paper and white that, but you should be able to see it. Okay, so just make sure if you're doing a lot of stamping, and like in here it's really quite warm under all these lights, I've just put a tiny drop of water on my paintbrush just to loosen it up a little bit. Okay, and then offer your stamp up. Again, just check that you've got plenty on there. See that ink on my fingers, that paint on my fingers, you don't want that there. And then I'm going to do the same again on here. And I'm just going to let it settle there for a couple of seconds just so that it soaks into the cotton. But as I say, it will work on polyester, it'll work on silk, man-made fibres, viscose, all of those as well. There you go. Can you see that better? That's a little bit better, isn't it? Just move it slightly then. There you go. But you get all that detail. Come to the face on camera again, Alfie. There we go. Yeah, can you see that?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, and that's what I did with these, basically. Oh, you're back on there.
No, what are you doing?
Face on. So you can see that I stamped on there and I just embroidered, and it's just a favourite thing to do at the moment. I'm just loving it. So the threads I got from where did I get the threads from? That lovely girl that we met at Ali Pali that was next door to us. I'll put it on Facebook. Put it on Facebook.
Linda's asked if the paint is Luscious.
Is the paint Luscious? No, it's not. The paint is a separate product altogether. Okay, so this is your Luscious, which is a powder, and this is our paint. So our paint range doesn't matter what you have, translucent, matte or metallic, they all work on fabric. So they are a true fabric paint. So I can actually paint my images with this paint as well, rather than just embroidering it. Okay, any more questions?
No,
Go back down below again.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to recap, these were the colours that I used: Glamrock Gold, Hi Ho Silver, Copper Load of this, and White Cliffs of Dover. And again, we actually use the Carolyn Laking technique, which is the white down the middle, tap it off each time, and then silver all over the rest, and then coloured it in with our lovely Luscious powders that are just mixed with water. These are the ones that are going to be on Wednesday, and so are these Colour Me ones as well. And then if you like and share, comment and share, you will win. Let me just get these. These. Yes, you will win. Not everybody will win. One person will win these 4 lovely new stamps, and also these 5 new Luscious colours.
Lisa's asked, can we use them on silk?
Can you use the paint on silk? The paints you can use on silk, absolutely. Yeah, the paints will go onto silk. If you want to use the Luscious on silk, you need to mix it with the Slap It On fabric, and then you can. Okay, sorry, on this camera. Beg your pardon. So if you want to use the Luscious on silk, you mix it with the fabric Slap It On. If you want to use the paint, which is this one, any of our paints you can use on silk. And I recommend, if you're using silk, you buy the translucent paints because they work beautifully. Only use the tiniest amount, because when you add water to them, you get a much lighter colour. So you can see how beautiful that colour is when you brush it out. And it's the same with all the others. Okay, so one person's going to win all these. Now, just before you go, I know we're about to finish, just before we go, big news, our Leone Pujol from Hachanda is going to be doing a show on Friday and Saturday called a one-day special, and she's selected her own stamps from the Indigo Blue range of her favourites. So there's going to be stamps, there's going to be Luscious, there's going to be texture paste, there's going to be stencils, rice paper, all sorts, watercolour paper, concertina journals, all sorts of really beautiful, lovely stuff. Do you want to come back up to me? So that is going to be Friday on Hachanda, and it starts in the afternoon. One day special is at 5 p.m. I believe, and then it's all day Saturday, something like 8, 12, 2 and 4, something like that. But check the schedule. So it's Leone Pujol for Indigo Blue on Friday and Saturday, one day special. So we're really excited about that, and that will be amazing. There's some incredible bargains to be had on that show, but if you want these new ones now, you can order them on our website. So good luck to everybody who has liked, commented and shared, and we will be announcing the winner shortly. So thank you very much for joining me. Join us next Monday for some lovely techniques and a bit of playtime. So grab your cup of tea, get your bourbons at the ready, and we'll see you next week at 4 o'clock. Bye for now.